Afternoon and welcome once again to Gaming Under the Influence. I'm Mike here with Alex, coming to you from GreenDragonCVR in Woodbridge, Ontario, to talk to you about video games.
Of course.
How are you, buddy, before we get started?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Like usual, I guess. Slanging away, you know, playing my games. How about you?
Not bad, not bad. Playing some games as well. I finally finished Elden Ring. Finally beat the last boss. I beat it last time we spoke, but with the Mimic, and that was embarrassing. So I spent the past week, thankfully.
I'm embarrassed.
Yeah, I managed to salvage
with a Mimic, and I'm embarrassed.
Yeah, it was embarrassing. It made me feel bad inside.
Yeah.
It's been haunting me. I managed to salvage my save from PlayStation Plus somehow, and
nice.
I went back and I did it over, and I beat it solo finally. Just barely scraped through, but it was amazing.
Pretty intense being the last boss. Yeah. With no help, I guess.
Some people have probably done it a lot.
I'm sure a lot have, but it feels like the game, I mean, you played a lot more than I have, but felt to me like the game was maybe kind of balanced around using the summon help.
I absolutely think that is the case.
Like that, right? Yes. I mean, I didn't even beat the first boss without the fucking using the summon help.
No, that's right. I think, people have observed this more clearly than me before, but most of the time when you play a From game, the bosses have, even when they have the most intricate and lengthy combos, like 7-hit combos or something, like your reward at the end of successfully dodging them or surviving it is you have an opportunity to strike the fucking guy, right?
Yeah.
And these patterns have to be consistent so that you learn them. And, in this game, like, there's a lot of times when the bosses have almost no periods of respite for you to attack in after they finish their lengthy
just
combos.
Aggression.
Or they lure you into thinking they're done, and like 50% of the time they add another attack in there. So these are battles of attrition. So oftentimes you're desperate to like just eke out damage wherever you can and push the fight to the next phase. So like I find that definitely felt to me like the most challenging FromSoft game in terms of the bosses, trying to do them alone, because the boss knows when you're going to heal, when you're going to do this or that, when you distance, but at the same time, based on that, like once you learn exactly how they're going to react after hundreds of failures, then it becomes something you can anticipate. But even then, after all this time, man, I've been playing this part of the game for like 5 months.
Yeah, it came on in February.
Yeah, the last boss, specifically, I put it down and I came back to it, and I put it down and I came back to it, and I just tapped away at it. And,
like true FromSoft games.
Right at the end there, it always happens for me.
Yeah.
And I finally finished it. But yeah, it was, it's an excellent experience. It feels really good to finish it, just like all the other ones. But yeah, it's a fucking hard game, man. It's hard. There's no way you're beating this boss alone unless you fucking, you put in the time to learn each combo perfectly. And my character's it's got huge stats too. This is the first game where I've put points into vitality in any FromSoft game. He's got like 45 vitality.
Yeah.
And that's not even the soft cap for vitality in this game.
Really?
Yeah. The last boss still like 2 or 3 shots and it's barely, you can't tank shit, right?
So you need vitality and like end game Elden Ring, I guess.
I think you do, yeah.
That's intense. Oh, there's your seppuku.
I think you need it, yeah. And, my guy's a quality build, just strength and dexterity, no fucking tricks or anything like that.
Yeah.
Usually relied on bleed, but there was no bleed here, so I just had raw DPS. Yeah, it's a great game, man. That's what I've been playing lately, and, I've been dabbling some other stuff too, like Ghost Recon Wildlands and Death's Gambit, and...
Very nice.
Other than that, though, I was looking back today for the purpose of this video, thinking about what the fuck came out this year,
Yeah,
it was a pretty good year. That's my intuition.
Yeah, it's weird. It feels like a blur almost. When you brought it up, I was like, 2022. What games came out this year? And I was like, I have no idea. Yeah, like it's like because on one hand, like I played Pokemon Legends back in January when it released, but it felt like it was ages ago. But at the same time, the year's already almost over. We're gonna be talking about Game of the Year soon, so it's a good time to, I guess, recap the best games we've played in 2022.
Yeah, that's right. This is a list of the top 10 games that have come out so far in 2022. Exactly right. My first entry is probably going to be Dying Light 2. Which I don't know if you played that one yet.
I did not. That was all you.
Yeah, I never played the first one, really. I wasn't too stoked on this. I heard it had some fucking troubled development.
I was in for a while.
I really wasn't that enthusiastic about it, but we had an extra copy here, and I figured, fuck it, I enjoy like open world games with movement, unusual movement, and this one definitely had that. And man, I was so absolutely surprised by how awesome this game is.
Yeah, I remember you letting me know how pleasantly surprised you were, and I remember watching some videos that looked interesting. I do kind of want to give it a shot, mostly because of the movement, like you said.
The movement is, of course, the number one thing in this game, and it's cool because you can climb pretty much anything. It's a great climbing and parkour system. You have like it's almost like a Zelda-esque like strength meter that allows you to climb certain buildings. You can upgrade it to climb more and jump further up ledges, and by the end you have like a parachute that you can like kind of plume it up in the air so that you go further, and it's just a great system, man.
Nice.
Flying across the city practically, climbing up buildings, and great sights, great weapons. Melee-based first-person combat, by the way. They do it really well with dodges and iframes and all this fucking awesome shit. So
yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's something to check out. Yeah, and on top of all that, this just being the mechanical aspects, like the world is pretty cool, man. I'm not really familiar with the first game or too familiar with the story, but it's a great fucking city, like kind of like an Eastern European-looking city, I guess. Just fallen to the fucking plague, but relatively unscathed because it was like walled off, and the rest of the fucking world was not. And, I really recommend you check that shit out. Dying Light 2, some serious, I think they call it Eurojank, right?
Eurojank, love Eurojank.
Yeah, me too. It's got some famous, strange Western actors in it. I think like Rosario Dawson or something like that is in it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's also a good co-op game too, right?
Yeah,
pick up and play with the kind of squad up, if you will. And
so check out Dying Light 2. That's our number 1 because it came out in January. Number 2 on the list is probably going to be
number 9, Pokemon Arceus Legends.
Tell us a little bit about this one, Alex, 'cause I haven't played it.
This game was a sort of a new take, I guess, on Pokemon, a stripped down version of the mainline RPG series, where it's basically a prequel to any of them, and you are sort of one of the founders of the Pokedex. You're creating the Pokedex as you go. You're kind of plopped into this world. You actually fell from the sky, which is pretty neat. And you meet with a professor who tasks you with helping him create the first Pokedex. So you get a bunch of Pokeballs. You join the Survey Corps team, and you get out there and you really just catch as many as possible. You battle, you catch, right? It's sort of like giving you that Pokemon style open world like freedom without actually it being open world and without there being a bunch of garbage to do. It's like really like refined, almost like drip fed Pokemon. I loved it because it was kind of experimental. It was a little bit different, right? But it felt very, very clear and like easy to jump into and fun to play, right? It also had bosses, like fucking almost Souls style bosses where you had to dodge. They had like area attacks that would like scorch the whole ground, and you had to like be in the right spot not to get hit. You had like a health bar, not just a health bar obviously for your Pokemon, but for yourself as well, which ties into the having like almost like Souls like bosses. Really cool game though. If you like Pokemon even a shred, you'll probably love this game. It's like the Death Stranding of Pokemon. Like it's a lot different and more stripped back.
Yeah,
I had a blast with it.
Strange new concept.
The story. Yep.
What's the world like?
The world is like it's like Monster Hunter in a sense, where you just select the regions and they're all various landscapes, but you really honestly just run around and traverse on multiple different kinds of Pokemon. The movement's cool because you unlock like one of the deer Pokemon that you use as like a horse. Then you eventually unlock one that you can climb mountains with. You unlock another one that flies, and you eventually just end up flying around. Like it's cool how the movement kind of unlocks as you progress, and even though it's not an open world, it's like the regions like Monster Hunter where you just zone into each region, and they're expansive, like larger areas, right? So the movement's also a big thing in this game. It made it really enjoyable just to run around, fly around, find new Pokemon, catch them, fill out your Pokedex pages.
Mechanics you can experience in the other Pokemon games, but they're more represented, not really like something you actually fly around and see the ground beneath you, right? In Pokemon before, so it's like fast travel, right?
Yeah, exactly. In this one, you're physically actually flying around the area, and yeah, it felt like it blew it open, right? In that sense, and it's cool that there isn't even like the switch between the overworld and battles. Everything just happens on the overworld, right? So hoping to see some of that infiltrate this year's Pokemon games that come out, the mainline ones, right? But it'd be cool for them to kind of fuse the two. I'm assuming they will, but we'll see. Ghostwire Tokyo, yes.
Number 8. That would be, I guess, it's just chronological. It's not a quality ranking or anything like that. But Ghostwire Tokyo is the latest game from Shinji Mikami. Tango Gameworks.
Tango Gameworks.
I think this is like, I guess you can call it, to me, it strikes me as like magical realism. It's like this supernatural, open world action adventure game in the first person, kind of like Dying Light 2, except set in contemporary Tokyo.
Yeah.
And you're this dude whose name I can't even remember, to be honest with you. But
it's been a while.
You got this kind of this Cyberpunk 2077 type situation where the guy becomes like the vehicle for the consciousness of this deceased dude, who is a detective hunting this villain who killed his wife, trying to sacrifice her to bring about some fucking ghost apocalypse and reunite himself with his family. And he accomplishes like this, bridging of the realm of the living and the dead, and Tokyo becomes like fucking caged off from the rest of the world and infested by spirits, and it's up to you, like, and the powers you've attained by melding with this dude to go about closing the gates and restoring Tokyo to its like not ghost infested state. And yeah, man, it's
a wild concept.
It is a wild concept, and it has like this hip young Japanese guy vibe, where your dude like wears like messenger bags and has like really neat haircut. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's cool because it takes place in what seems like a modern Tokyo, but with a spin-off of cyberpunk and horror, like you said. And there's also first-person shooter-like combat that's not typical with the like gun-based. You sort of just shoot stuff out of your fingers.
Yeah,
and use
pew pew.
Yeah, literally, and you get like different powers.
That's right.
To shoot out of your hands, but they act as like different bullet types or whatever. But they're all like magic, and it's really cool. Yeah,
certain abilities that you have, and like the cool thing is by the end you can fucking fly.
Oh yeah, see, I didn't even get to that point. But yeah, another thing, like it almost seems like that's like the most important thing for us in games is
when you
having cool movement. And really, it makes sense.
Of course, man. Unless the combat is like totally fucking symbolic, uncircumscriptive, right? Like then it's important if you're gonna have movement at all. That I feel like that there's some movement to the movement, some progression to the movement over the course of the experience, right?
Oh yeah.
And Ghostwire really accomplishes that. And I really like the tone, and I like the story and the relationship between the two dudes and how they're originally antagonistic, but they become friends. And yeah, man, it's a great game, a heartwarming story. And the best part is it's only like 10 hours long. You can just beat it like in a fucking weekend. It reminds me very much of a game from like the 2000s, the early 2000s, right?
Yeah.
in its strange
like
concept.
Almost like an Infamous kind of open world game.
Exactly. It's one-off nature. It's like restricted open world. It's got limited ambitions, but for that reason, it can focus all the more on what it's trying to do, right? Has like the cinematic aspect to it, even though very rarely are there cinematics. Most of the time, it's just a conversation between you and the dude.
Yeah.
And a strange thing is nobody's in Tokyo. Everybody's turned into a ghost. So you're just exploring this like literal ghost town, like fucking empty shops and stuff like that. It's both really haunting and like the detail is staggering. Like you go into shop and you can like read the writing on the packaging of Twinkies and shit like that.
Yeah, it's very detailed. And it's also cool that they use the horror theme as just the theme sort of. It's not like an actual horror game or like a survival horror. It just kind of uses, like you said, like Control kind of just uses horror as like a theme, the backdrop, right? Like some of the stuff that you see, and it's really cool and kind of freaky, but it's good.
I agree, man. Ghostwire was a great game. I think you should check it out. Shinji Mikami maybe is no Kojima, but he's something of a visionary himself when it comes to these kinds of games. Evil Within and Evil Within 2 are fantastic, and check out Ghostwire Tokyo.
Oh yeah.
Not something to fucking miss. Here's my list here of the next one, and of course the next one that we're going to have to mention is probably Elden Ring, man. We were just talking about it a little bit, but there's not enough words in the fucking English language to do justice to it, I suppose. There's probably talk about it forever.
Big game, Elden Ring. Probably the biggest game that launched this year.
I think it's, for most people, it's probably the game of the year, and I don't doubt that, at the Game Awards, it's going to get Game of the Year this year, too. Elden Ring is, Miyazaki's latest fucking entry in the the in-house Souls-like series that he's been hard at work on since Demon's Souls in 2009, and it's unique for being an open world game and for having its...
For the first time.
Yeah, for having its lore designed by George R.R. Martin. And,
that's right.
If you've listened to our show over the past 12 months, you probably know our opinion about Elden Ring, especially on my side, like what I think the problems with this game are compared to some of the other ones.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lay those out first. Like I don't like the fact that there's build diversity at all. I prefer Sekiro style balancing where there's like one way to play the game and
do it.
For that reason everything's exactly how it should be. In this game it's got wonkiness because of the fact that you can manipulate your build to minute fucking detail, and like, you know, based on that, developers, they just simply either they can't account for all of the variations and two people are going to have radically different experiences in the same boss, or they try to account for it by overcompensating, and the bosses just are fucking...
Bosses are so difficult
the
because
bosses
of that.
so difficult in this game compared to other FromSoft games because they don't really have like openings like the other ones do. They read your input, so they always know when you're going to heal or do this or do that.
That's insane.
Yeah. I mean, more or less. That's my sensation. Spending a lot of time with this game, as well as the other ones. And it's very long, and for that reason, there's a lot of reused content, right? Like, I think there's probably like 18 to 20, what's the number? Anyways, it's not that great of a number. It's in like the 20s to 30s of actual unique bosses, like things that you fight once, and then every other thing is a reused instance of those things.
Right.
Just trash mobs, and that to me like detracts from the overall quality of the thing. It's always a low point in the other Souls games when I found this kind of stuff. So I didn't like to see that much, but all this stuff being said, there's nothing like fucking Elden Ring, man. The world they built is probably just the best fucking world in video games. It's fantastic, and the unique bosses that are there, like shit, man. They're fucking the stuff of legend, man. It's like they have like biblical proportion to them, or like you're reading something like the Odyssey. It's just that's truly got the vibe of like a fucking epic poem, you know. You feel that feeling of awesomeness around you, like you're part of something bigger and older than yourself, right? That the author is just kind of revealing to you, not really like, having made it up himself. So I really enjoy Elden Ring. The story we've talked about in detail before. We don't really need to get into that. But to me it plays kind of like Dark Souls 3 meets Sekiro. Like there's jumping, but it's not quite as agile as Sekiro. There's it's fast in the way Dark Souls 3 was, but it's not like you have the ability to dodge and zip around like you do in Sekiro. So to me it feels like a nice like middle ground between Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3 versus Sekiro. Still is not my favorite combat system, but it feels good. Like what else is there to say? It feels good. There's a lot to fucking love about it. I've had this. I used one weapon the whole game, exactly like I was playing Sekiro. I used the katana,
pretty much
right from the start. And by the end, I had 2 katanas, and that's all I used. I refused to change my build even when I got stuck. And it's doable, man. So it tells you like the game may have all of this variation, but you can still play it like
just like a
in the most FromSoft kind of way that you want.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, I haven't played as much as you have, but it would be criminal not to mention it's definitely in the ring for probably a heavy contender for Game of the Year, if not the pick.
Fantastic fucking lore about gods warring over the fate of this this world of mortals that worship them to different degrees, and you got to pick a side and determine the fate of all of that. And it's fantastic. There's dragons and wizards and all of the trappings of high fantasy, as well as like the mythological and religious undertones common to all Miyazaki games. So there's nothing not to love about Elden Ring, except for perhaps a bit of bloat to it.
Yeah,
a bit of bloat.
I mean, it's an open world game, so we can expect that.
And as I was saying earlier in the episode, if you want to play this game solo, buddy, shit,
good luck.
Get ready for a bit of a rough time. Unless you're playing like if you play a magic build, never mind. It's not. But if you're playing like a melee build, without magic any tricks, like no tricks involved, just straight up just trying to play it, with dodges and doing damage to the guy without fucking around, then you're gonna have a bit of a fucking tricky time. Get ready for that. But for all of that, beating it is all the more satisfying.
Oh yeah,
I must say. That's Elden Ring. Definitely check it out. It's personally my game of the year. I think I'm not going to be alone in that when the time comes to assess this.
Definitely not.
Next one is another one that I played a shit ton of. This is definitely the game I played the most hours of this year, and that's V Rising.
V Rising, yeah.
From Stunlock, I believe the studio is called. I think they're Swedish, aren't they?
I believe so.
Yeah, Swedish dudes, funded by a Chinese massive company, Tencent here, being the backers of this game financially, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
V Rising is a vampire survival game that kind of looks like Diablo and has Diablo-style combat,
like Diablo,
RPG leveling mechanics, But it's a survival game. You build a base and you have, like hunger, you gotta, eat blood, and you gotta instead of having levels to your character, your level is based on your gear score.
Right.
It's very much a survival game despite its isometric view and its combat. And the building system is fucking incredibly deep. Like at first when you get into it, you're like, all right, whatever, I'm just placing walls. But dude, you can like, it's like you're playing with graph paper, and there's millions of ways to fill in the little square in each metaphorical box of the paper, right? By the end, you got carpets and candelabras and different wallpapers and fucking different ways to arrange everything, and you can really make an awesome castle that you love walking around on. We still run a server for this game.
Yep.
Haven't quite finished it yet either. Actually, the last boss is very difficult here. You need help with it. Or you need to put in the time to learn it as well.
Yeah, you probably have
fucking
to. Yeah.
Tough, man. It's a great game.
Yeah, I played quite a bit of this one, and despite me not being as into survival games as you are, this one took up some of my time. I really enjoyed the like isometric Diablo style combat.
You have like a fucking 3. It's exactly like Diablo 3. You have like 3 activated abilities that you unlock by beating the bosses and all this shit.
Okay, right? I couldn't remember how that worked.
That's exactly right. And you fucking tweak your build, and you can even have stats that support your choice of abilities.
Right.
And the blood you drink gives you fucking boost to certain things, right?
Yeah, and you consume different like animals to be different.
And by
like
the end, actually, what you can do is in your castle, you build a prison, and you go and you seek out different blood types up to 100%, and you can store them there, so you can just feed on them at leisure, right? You just got to keep them healthy by giving them certain food so they don't die as you're feeding them. But yeah. It allows you to pretty much like
it's very
awesome.
Dark.
The great thing about this game, I know, you have like indentured servants that you eat.
Yeah.
The great thing about this game is how like at first blush, as you break into, there's different tiers, different progress tiers, right, for armor and fucking building materials.
Right.
You break into the tier, and harvesting the materials for that tier is very difficult. The mobs you have to get them from are over leveled compared to you, and like they only drop 1 or 2. But by the end, you get these guys like these thralls. They're called vampire dudes. You turn people into vampires, and you keep them and you armor them up just like you, and you send them on missions from your throne. You sit on the throne, you look at the map, and you send them on missions, and it pretty much automates the collection of resources.
Right. Yeah.
You log in every day, you send them to do this, and they come back the next day full of resources.
With all your shit.
Yeah, it's like this mobile game element or something.
That's awesome.
But it is awesome. But by the end, then you want to build these huge things in your castle, and it takes so long to harvest. Yeah, it does, until you get 9 guys out every day harvesting that shit. Right.
There you go.
So it's pretty awesome.
Camps.
Yeah.
Great game.
It is a great game, man.
It was fun, yes.
It's a fantastic game. It's not even done yet. It's in early access still, so I haven't even finished there's 3 bosses at the end that you get these features in your castle for that give you buffs when you activate them, and we haven't done it yet on our server, so still looking forward to getting back into V Rising. Definitely not done with it, just like Valheim, 'cause it's a building game. You're always going to have more.
Yeah, it's kind of a never-ending, ongoing game, if you will.
Yeah, exactly. You can build more castles. You can do all kinds of stuff. So yeah, it's V Rising, man. That's a great one. Check it out. Come play on our server even if you like.
Well, yeah.
Next, we had The Quarry.
The Quarry.
Supermassive Games. Another movie-style game, I like to call them.
You know what? I'm pissed I haven't played this one yet.
Yeah, it's good. You'd like it too, buddy.
Yeah.
Check it out for sure. It's about a bunch of teenagers at camp fucking being stalked by a monster or a serial killer or something. You're not really sure.
Not sure.
Riffing on like Friday the 13th and all that stuff from the 80s. And the writing is a little bit wonky, but I think it's a great game overall. Really enjoyed what I played of it so far. It's great to play with somebody else. They even have this multiplayer mode where you can like pass the controller off depending on which character is involved in the scene. And I control this one, you control that one, right?
That's cool.
It's a great game. Yeah, of all the Supermassive games, I probably enjoyed it the most. But I was saying this to somebody the other day. It doesn't have, when you play the David Cage fucking games in this genre, like Detroit Become Human or Heavy Rain, they still have the weirdness to the writing that this one has, and it's kind of hard to take them seriously in certain points, but the whole vibe overall, the idea, it's got more gravity, it's more serious, right?
In The Quarry?
No, in the
others. Okay.
These are more like kind of jocular, like teen horror
right
vibe
yes
shit,
okay I was gonna say those ones seem like have more serious
they're more visionary,
whereas this is
kind of goofy.
Yeah, kind of goofy and more of like, I guess, like a kind of Halloween, not the movie, but overall like Halloween kind of vibe. Like, oh, you want to watch a scary movie? Let's play this scary game. It's cool that it bridges the gap between like movies and video games, though, like you said, where you can enjoy it with one or more, or 2 or more people, let's say, and either pass the controller or just kind of watch and react. Like, it's always something I've kind of wanted to try out instead of like watching a movie.
Absolutely.
Play with a bunch of people and play the multiplayer variety of these kinds of games.
It's a great game.
We'll have to do it one day.
Yeah, man. Number 7 is The Ascent, which I believe... Number 3.
Number 3, yeah.
is The Ascent, which I believe came out last year, technically. But it came out physically and on PlayStation this year.
So we're counting it.
So we're definitely counting it. And I spoke a lot about this game It's an indie game, also out of Europe. I don't remember the studio off the top of my head. What's the studio? Let's look it up. Co-op fucking shooter, also with an isometric view, just like V Rising, by another Swedish indie studio called Neon Giant, published by Curve Digital. It came out on fucking Xbox last year, but it came out this year on PlayStation. And a cool thing about this game, it was developed by 12 people, and it's fucking beautiful, man. I ranted about it a little bit earlier in the year.
Yeah.
How much of a joy it was to play. It's like a diorama, you know? You're walking around this ridiculously cool, like, it's called an arcology, like a self-contained ecosystem in this cyberpunk future full of aliens and shit, and you can zoom the camera right down to the level of the character's vision and see.
I remember, I remember you sending me screenshots, and the world looks like it was ripped out of almost like Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yeah,
just
it's like
beautiful,
kind of,
crazy landscapes. Look great.
Great game, great cyberpunk story about, like, you know, these corporations fighting over the fate of the people who live in this sector of the arcology the character inhabits, and it's got like shooter combat in the vein of, like, it's like Diablo with guns, you know, essentially.
Diablo
that's what
with
it
guns.
looks like. To the layman, that's probably what you think.
Compared to Wasteland 3 at all, or?
No, not really.
No?
That's like a fucking tactical RPG.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, this is more like a fucking twin stick shooter, I guess, when you play it on a console more than anything else. But it looks like, just like V Rising does, like you're playing an isometric action game.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, except you got guns and this and that kind of stuff. So it feels really good. It's got a great world, great theme. Looks really good too. You know, I highly recommend not missing this one. I think it just got some DLC this month as well. So
nice physical release and DLC. Yep. I'm down.
Worth checking out as well.
Is it still locked on the Xbox?
No,
you said it's also on the PlayStation now. Beautiful.
Right. Another game that came out this year that I personally had a lot of time with. Well, not a lot. Played through most of the game. I'm at the last boss in this one too. I find it annoying, but overall it's a fucking pretty cool game, and that's Dimesia, another Souls-like, an indie Souls-like by a Taiwanese fucking developer.
I actually booted it up last week.
Yeah?
Yes.
What do you think of that?
Interesting. I didn't play enough of it to really give you much of an opinion, but
it's not easy, is it?
It is not easy.
No.
And it's got a weird... This is the one where you do damage to the enemies, but they recover.
Exactly that.
I can't remember the specifics here.
That's right. They have like fucking 2 health bars. You got to do like the equivalent of posture damage, I guess.
Yeah.
There's a green health bar, and then after that, you hit them with your other attack to actually do the permanent damage, because the other bar refills, right?
Refills, yeah. And quickly, too. It refills quickly.
It's a really it's a Bloodborne-inspired, super fast combat system. It feels really good to play, actually. And there's a couple of bosses in there that are awesome. You know, overall, the game is it's a neat fucking work from an indie developer, and unlike fucking Hellpoint, which I played last year, also from an indie developer.
Yep.
This one's more like Mortal Shell. It's very brief. You know, it's like fucking probably 10 hours.
Yeah,
long
shorter
overall.
game.
Yeah.
I like how they remix the combat. So even if you feel like, I've played Souls games, like you go in, confident, like you're gonna smash this game out in 10 hours, it's still gonna kick your ass because it's got that variation. It's slightly different with the way the health regenerates and the different style attacks and stuff.
Definitely does, and it's got some cool bosses too. Big ones, man-sized. You know, the only thing that sucks is the last boss. I don't like last bosses done in this style. I guess I probably shouldn't spoil exactly what it is, but to me, this is like the worst kind of asset reuse. Let's just put it that way.
Okay.
I didn't really enjoy the last boss. So, otherwise though, Dimesia, great game. Fucking definitely worth checking out. And I think you'll agree that is the limit of the games that have come out this year that we have played ourselves. I think that puts us at 8. We have another 2 that we can include on this list, and I'm just gonna fucking rattle off a bunch of honorable mentions. Then we can decide what we're gonna land on. That would be Dolmen, another Souls-like, Weird West, Sifu, Strangers of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origins, Cult of the Lamb, Xenoblade 3, Steel Rising, another Souls-like, Moonscars, another Souls-like, Solstice, Valkyrie Elysium, Stray, Destroy All Humans 2, the remake, Live Alive or Live Alive, Triangle Strategy, and Scorn. It's a whole pile of games. There's a lot left.
I didn't even realize this year was crazy.
Yeah, for me, I don't know. You played Live Alive, actually.
I did play Live Alive, and although I didn't play nearly as much of it as I would have liked to, I can always jump back in, but I completed one of the stories. It's got like 7 or 8 independent stories that are short, which is cool, because it's like reading a short novel or a short story or whatever, like having 8 short games packed into, like, I've never really thought about anything like this before, instead of one big long game. So I played through one of the one of the stories that is in the game, and it was about 6 hours maybe. And it's basically a turn-based RPG, which is great. It had a neat little short story, like I mentioned, and it's cool that it has more of them. So I would like to play through all of them and see if there's like an Octopath style connection between all of them. There probably is, right? Yeah, I figured as much.
It's a remake too of a game from like that fucking 80s, right?
Actually, yes, it is also a remake of a game that came out in the 80s. But yeah, very interesting game to see resurrected, one that never came to the West either. So
I'm particularly interested in trying out Steel Rising. It's a Souls-like from the guys who made Greedfall, in Dolmen, another Souls-like from an independent studio, and of course in Xenoblade 3. Probably the ones that are highest on my priority list of the ones we just rattled off. And there's also Cult of the Lamb, which is fucking interesting. Moonscar is another 2D Souls-like. So it's a lot of work left for us in the remainder of the year.
Oh, for sure. I want to play that Yuden Chronicles Rising game. And I mean, of all those games, I probably played extensively a lot of Gran Turismo, which isn't much to really say about, but I'm happy that there's a mainline Gran Turismo out there that is a little bit greasy with some
Gran Turismo decisions. That'll be our last one. All right, here's the last one for the night. Gran
Turismo. I mean, it's been a series I've pretty much played since 2. I've always loved Gran Turismo, but this one was a little bit greasier than, it's a little bit more modern in every sense, so it looks and plays better than any Gran Turismo that's come before it, but it also has a dose of a little bit of greediness involved, with the buying in-game currency with real money and sort of taking the progression to a little bit of a grind because of that. So it's a little bit bullshit in that sense, but at the same time, it is also a full-fledged like Gran Turismo 7 release, not like a GT Sport that came out on the PS4. So it's nice to see like a mainline title in there. Just I wish they would kind of ease up on the shit, but
yeah, the microtransactions nowadays, right? Already, but it's a good sim. In other words, a good racing sim.
It doesn't totally botch the game. It still is a fantastic racing sim, and I have a good time playing it. But I just wish it had a little less to do with some of that shit. But that's whatever. Is what it is nowadays. Yeah, that's a whole different ball game.
Well, that's a list of 10 fucking games that we've played that are awesome so far this year. We should have called it that from the beginning, but man, there's a whole bunch we have not yet. We listed those off, and
there's a lot going on. If any, if you haven't played any of these games, give them a shot. And there's some that we haven't played that we would love to give a shot.
I think I'm gonna make my mission for the rest of the year, at least trying all of the ones I just mentioned.
Yeah, that's fair.
Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in once again. This is Mike and Alex at GreenDragonCVR. Take care of yourselves.
Oh yeah.